This is a layered BoHo Half-Up for beginners. Sectioning off the front so you can take out just the bit of fringe that you want for this look. And we're going to pin this away on both sides so that we have some beautiful pieces to add in at the end of the style. You want to clip all the other sections out of the way so that you can stay organized and not get lost in the updo. Make sure your sections are even. And for some brides, this is the most important part, is how her fringe is and how she feels when she looks in the mirror. Most wedding photos only come with the sides and the very back shown, so it is up to us to really have a great conversation with the bride as far as how she wants the front. So section 1 is the front. Section 2 and 3 are the sides. You want to make sure that there is enough hair taken. You can see I go just behind the ear. Because she has so many layers, it's important that we have enough in this section to bring back, because it is this area that makes the boho look very romantic and soft when these sections are brought back into the back of the design. So section 3 is on the other side, and just slicing that out of the way. If your model has less layers, you might change the shape and size of these sections, but these steps are always the same. This is why you will see the same sections and the same hairstyle done on a one-length mannequin head, so you can see how it applies. The back is the crown, which I call section 4, and the bottom is section 5. And these are always the sections that I work with. I am adding some dry working spray and lifting. You want to get this spray within the layers and really give that hair that boho, fringy, messy kind of look before you even start. This way the design is not too slippery, it doesn't come out too flat, it definitely needs texture. You can feel it in your hand getting a little bit stiffer and tacky, and that's important. So grabbing a small clear elastic, I'm going to section out the crown, which is section 4. Just want to make sure that it's even. And that it has a nice rounded shape. The hair is not drawn completely back, it kind of follows the curve of the scalp. All these little details will make your work feel more professional. So keeping this ponytail flat to the head and just giving it a couple of twists. we want it to be a bit loose. And now I'm going to just pin away section 5, the bottom. And that'll keep all the flyaways from getting you lost in your design, which is a common problem. You can see that the ponytail is loose. And now I'm going to pinch the top layer to get some beautiful texture. And I'm not going all the way to the edges. We are keeping the pinching in the middle, in somewhat of a V format, and not too full on the sides. And there is our top layer. So that's about as much pinching and pulling as we can get with the layers. Now taking down section 2. You want to split the top of that slice. And then we're going to split it again in half. If you spray and keep each section clean, you'll have a clean design in the end, even though it's loose. So flipping one side over the other, and now I'm going to pick up a piece and add it. This is called a 2-strand braid. It's very easy. You just want to add in on the edges there and flip over. Anyone can do this braid. It's very simple. So we're going to take the rest of this section and split it into 2 and continue wrapping all the way across. You can see how I did go behind the ear and a little bit lower into section 5, the bottom. This will give some beautiful draping. You can see how loose that is. Now just pinching the very, very top, and make sure you hold on to that ponytail. We just want to get some more texture in this. Remember, there's lots of layers here, so don't pull too much. Take it a little bit at a time. And again, this will make your looks look professional. Going to tuck that end under, and that will give beautiful tendrils hanging down, and just wrapping it around that ponytail. You want to make sure you have 2 pins and you grab into some of that ponytail, and then in the opposite direction you want to make sure that you find that other pin and you hook them together underneath. You can see how that went in. As you work, you're always assessing your textures and your length, because there's always different decisions to be made based on the hair that you're going to work with. So the same as the other side, taking a slice off the top, splitting that in 2, and doing a 2-strand crossover braid. Taking slices and adding it, and crossing over again. You can see now why all the sections are pinned, so we have clean lines and the hairstyle doesn't get messy. You can also see how I'm standing behind her shoulder and I'm standing in the direction I want the hair to go. So taking the rest of the bottom and splitting it in 2, adding a piece to each end, and finishing with the crossing over. that elastic right there on the end. We're going to do some pinching again. I don't suggest it being too tight. That is kind of schoolgirl looking and a little bit juvenile. You want this look to be loose, and that's what's going to give it the really true professional looking boho style. Make sure you practice so you can really be brave enough to do a lot of pinching. I'm going to just cross right over that ponytail, and you want to shape here your dips on the side. You can see how soft and loose they are. Just put your finger in there until it has a beautiful shape. We don't want to see a parting between section 4 and section 1 and 2. And use a clip here to hold it in place so that you can pin it. We already have 2 bobby pins in there, so you can just take this one and hook it right into the others. I'm going to take a bobby pin just to pin that where we want it to stay so it doesn't get too droopy. And pinch it right to the head shape, going along the line of the braid, not across. This will help hide it when we go with the braid and not across the braid. And I show this in real time because I really want you to see that it's a little bit more work than the super fast tutorials show. Now we're going to go in and pick random pieces using a hot curling iron. You can wrap on top of the iron, or you can open it up and do it the other way. But we want it to be soft. Not every piece done. Every piece done will look like a little girl's dance party hairstyle. We don't want that. We want a boho bridal. And you can see and hold it and pulling. I'm pulling with those tips because tension will really help the curls stay in. And don't touch the curls. They need to cool in their new shape. We will touch the curls later, but don't touch them while they're warm. This will be completely up to you and the client as to how much curling is done. I'm just pulling up on that original first elastic a little bit. And so now I'm going into the fringe on the sides. You can curl these away from the face. You can curl them toward the face. And as you notice, I'm not taking every single piece of hair. So now I'm going to grab all the hair and we're going to just kind of break up that formed curl. You want to pinch and pull and get lots of beautiful texture. This really makes it look more bridal, more softer. So make sure your curls have cooled. So holding the bottom and pulling and spraying. This is a professional way of getting the beautiful soft boho, and you don't see this part in the fast tutorials. These are the details that you're only going to get in a course like this. Now again, this is a dry working spray. It is not full of water, it's not sticky, and it's not heavy. So make sure you use a dry working spray. And here's a beautiful design. Now here is an exciting pro tip. I'm gonna take these little topsy tail, they sell them at Walmart, and we're going to feed through some of this fringe and tie it into the back. This is a pro tip that is going to make your looks very high-end for boho design. Make sure you hang on to that hair. Think about where the tail is going to land, right? The tail is going to create the more detail. And we're going to do this on both sides. And this will tie the two areas together and really give it a professional look. Put your finger and your thumb through, hang on to the hair, find a spot to drop it down. You want to have some dip in the front. Pull that dip down. And anytime you feel the need to add more curl, you can do it at any time. There's always some oil on your fingers, and by running my fingers through the hair, I am going to just create shine in the hair. And there is a very easy way to look at this. Hang on to the tail. Find out where you'd like to add your fringe and bring it through. Sometimes if there is highlights like this, you might want to actually pick a piece of hair that's highlighted, and it'll just add to the look, make it beautiful and custom. So here is the finished look. I hope you enjoy this bridal boho basic tutorial, but with my special pro tips. Enjoy the finished photos, put beautiful accessories in the hair, and have fun. Check out my other courses.